Yes, we have Cheese Reaver doing commentary. We have Mr. Thrag doing commentary. We thought we got rid of him the other day. We were wrong.
Look, I'm a dragon, dude. I just keep coming back.
Love you, bud. And then we've got Cinaeth, who I was talking about earlier, but I'm going to repeat what I said because I don't know if he was watching the stream, and he should hear that. I'm glad to have met you, Cinaeth. You've been around not very long. I think DPX is what brought you in, but you've been an awesome member of the community ever since you've joined.
Oh, thank you.
So we
how many wahahas do I need to put in this? I should probably look this up.
It's supposed to be. Let's double check this. Celeste, wahaha spelling. That's what Google's for.
You would think something as simple as fwahaha would not require spell check.
It's an interesting.
Well, but the thing is, I don't want to make sure. Yeah, it's FWHAHAHA, I believe, all in caps.
Oh, it has all in caps too. Okay.
I don't know if it does have to, but this thing on Reddit has it all in caps, so.
It's 3 ha-has?
FWA.
2.
Ha-ha.
2 has.
Ha ha. Wow, this is how we start today.
We gotta make sure we do it right, because the incentive has been met. We gotta make sure that people are getting their money's worth.
That's true. Alright, I'm gonna look again at so and make sure. Is there any official release there? Or anything? Yeah, I'm seeing multiple notices of all caps, so we should be good with that.
Okay.
Alright, so whenever you're ready, go ahead, count it down, and I will start our timer and go live.
All right, sounds good. So as I was mentioning to Metadog, this is a in-game timer game. So you're actually going to see a timer up in this corner of the screen as well. That will be showing the actual runtime.
On your webcam?
It's not in my webcam. It's actually on the game.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys will get to see that,
So,
and then
top
other
left,
than
top
that,
right, bottom left, bottom right.
that timer is in the top left of the game screen.
Real quick, is it possible to turn off your Dead Cells extension?
Yes.
I just noticed that there.
I can kill that.
This is the beauty of a Sunday morning setup for a speed run, in case anybody was wondering.
I mean, technically we're ahead of schedule because I didn't take too long to introduce everything, so... Little miracles.
We've got 6 minutes before this matters, so...
Oof, 6 whole minutes?
Oh, yeah.
We could do in 6 minutes.
Yeah, I decided
right.
next year we're having 10-minute setups between runs. I ain't doing none of this 5-minute crap no more.
No, that's a good call. That's a good call. Man.
You live and you learn.
Yeah. All right, yep, it's all good.
All right, so we are going to be going in 3, 2, 1, and begin.
Boom. I will mute and I will jump in occasionally to do reads and such.
All right,
This is it, chat.
Just talk right over us, it'll be fine.
Just breathe. You can do this.
The only reason I do DPX is just so I can talk over you guys.
So this is the only cutscene
sounds
I'm not
legit.
going to skip. All the other cutscenes will get skipped.
Bouncy. All right.
Skip the movies, save the frames.
Well, I tell you what, first bit of information we can give you right now is, as you'll notice, he is bouncing and trying to keep as little time on the ground as possible. And that is because the less time you spend touching the ground while bunny hopping along here, the quicker you're going. Simple as.
Yeah. Anybody who's played almost any game ever should be familiar with the concept of bunny hopping. It usually lets you keep your starting speed no matter what you do. It's great. And now he can dash, but you didn't see that part.
Okay, so yeah, this World 1 is fairly simple. I can't remember what the chapter 1 is fairly simple. It's literally just jumping, dashing through. Now, as you can see, he is doing some strange looking jumps here. He's got some corner bounces going. He's got some, I don't think he's done any hypers yet, but he's got some supers.
He might have been a hyper, but so I guess we could talk about supers versus hyper. If you dash and jump kind of at the same time, but with slightly different timing, you can dash and jump and then keep your second dash because you were still on the ground technically when the dash happened.
Yeah, it's got to be done within the time frame where Madeline's hair is still white, I believe.
Right.
When you actually touch the ground, it turns white before it turns back to the red, and it's got to be done just as it's white to get it to allow you to do the jump and keep the dash for it as well.
Right.
Can I say something without sounding insulting, Cinaeth?
Go ahead.
I don't know, can you?
So I'm watching you, and it's super impressive, but it also looks so much more accessible than the one time I've seen this run, which was an AGDQ.
Now, in fairness, let me double check what the actual number is, because I can tell you, I recently played through this game, and what did it take me, like 4.5 hours to complete the main story, and I was rushing because I was up against Cinaeth and J Chalk's time from when Cheese Reaver gave us the best blind commentary possibly
That
ever
was
seen
amazing.
on a video game.
Double blind, run blind commentary.
Nice.
It
But yeah,
was
Great stuff.
fantastic.
I also want to say again, thanks to Cinaeth, because Celeste is the #1 run that I like to have in every DPX. And he pulled through this year as our Celeste runner.
Oh yeah, and I can understand. Celeste it's such a fun run to actually play through, but it's so cool to watch the actual run itself. I will say that the world record at the moment is 26 minutes 57 seconds for this category, and no disrespect to Cinaeth because he has dropped this time real quick, but he's not quite on that level yet.
We're
So
just bunking on Cinaeth today. Sid, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I know I'm not the fastest runner, and I'm trying to get a lot faster, but it's definitely
Difficult?
it's not easy. This game,
Also-
as you see me dying every now and again, is not an easy game.
Also, he's spoken to me and Drake before, so he understands. that
Yeah,
that's
it's
part of the
so
deal.
good though. Like even the movement, I'm just saying the movement is insane at any level. This is I tried and do this. I'm not finishing in 3 hours for it. This is gonna be a bad run. You try and make me do it.
No, and that's one of the beauties of Celeste. It can be absolutely fantastic spending 10 hours playing the game. And it could be just as fantastic, but in a different way, spending half an hour to 45 minutes playing the game to finish it. It is a game that suits speedrunning so much. Okay, so yeah, at the moment, as you can see, we've got a bunch of what are called badlings chasing us. And my pronunciation of that will change consistently, or inconsistently, just because I'm like that. But every screen, we get an extra badling chasing us. And if you
We've
touch
also
them,
gained the
bad.
ability to fly through cosmic jelly.
we have, yes. I can't remember the actual name for them, but it's Dream something. But the cosmic jelly, as we're going to be referring to it, it's a really good mechanic. Every time you come out of it, your dash is recharged as well. As you can
always
see now,
dash through it in a straight line, regardless of whatever angle you hit it at. That's what angle you're coming out.
yep,
Now-
exactly.
Now the question is this a dream or is this reality?
Now, when you can actually dash through them in the previous section, that was the dream. This bit is the reality, and you can tell that because we passed. I can't remember his name, the really boring dude.
I meant like the whole game.
Oh, the whole game.
Is the whole game, because if you look at it, is it something going on inside of her? Is it something going on in a dream, or is this actually happening on this crazy mountain?
This
Well,
is actually
that-
happening on this crazy mountain in the storyline.
Part of what the actual story is that all of this stuff that just seems, completely out there. What's going on? Surely she's dreaming, and yet, nope. That's just what this
God
mountain
dang
does to people.
Oh, you did
And
not get the shy position jump.
We're not gonna get the story here, but this innkeeper is one of my favorite characters.
Shiro is a fantastic character. He is very amusing through most of his speech when you actually play through the game casually. I am totally with you on that.
That's why I'm making Sin do an all story and all dialogue % run next year. You got a year to prepare.
I really wanted to do a all red berries run this year, but I couldn't get good enough to do it inside of an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, all red berries is a crazy run. I mean, going from having finished the game to collecting all the red berries just on my casual play, I think I went 4.5 hours to finish the game, and I think it's like another 10 hours on top of that to collect all the red berries. It was, yeah, it's not easy. It's a lot of fun though.
Also, there's strawberries, in case anyone's wondering. I still haven't figured out why they call them red berries.
Yeah, I'm still confused by why the category's called red berries, because not only are they strawberries quite clearly from a visual perspective, they're even called strawberries in the game. So...
They didn't want to get sued.
As far as I know, the concept of the strawberry is not, in fact, trademarked. I could be wrong. I'm not super up to date on trademark law.
Nestle, I've got some bad news for you.
Well, the reason that they're called red berries instead of strawberries is because there are actually other colors of strawberries that you can get in the game. There are golden strawberries, and then there's also a blue strawberry that you can get.
I'm just going to argue that it would make far more sense to call them blue strawberries and golden strawberries. But...
And the rest of them just strawberries.
Yeah.
Yes. Real quick, I do want to remind everybody that we are raising money this year for To Right Love on Our Arms. They are a nonprofit movement dedicated to representing hope and finding help for people struggling with depression, addiction, self-injury, and suicide. They exist to encourage, inform, inspire, and also to invest directly into treatment and recovery. And obviously this year is more important than ever, giving everything going on in the world for these resources to be available to people. And like I said, every cent you donate goes directly to To Right Love on Arms. We don't touch it. We don't, well, I mean, we see it because we got to take it with your donations, but it never crosses our hands. It goes right to them. So you never have to worry about where your money is going. If you'd like to donate, !donate will pop you up a link. We have Save and Kill as our only poll remaining right now, but we do have several targets remaining, including, if I can pimp out my personal favorite, donation incentive. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the infamous fan fiction My Immortal.
I am not.
Basically, it is widely regarded as the worst fan fiction ever created, and it is a Harry Potter x Twilight x romance novel fan fiction. It is absolutely horrendous, and it's so bad it's good. Think in the vein of Sharknado or those type of things. Okay. And my friend, Scooter OP, who is actually here helping us with DPX in person because they're our best friends over out here, has generously agreed to do a dramatic reading of the first chapter if we can hit $200 on that donation incentive. And let me tell you, he does the best dramatic reading of this that I have ever seen.
I've got to be honest, I kind of wish I knew about this one when I put that $50 that was runner's choice to you having to have to eat those sliders, because as entertaining as you eating those sliders was.
Well, this is a new incentive. We added this last night because
I wish it had been around. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we've run out of incentives again for the second time this event, so we started having to make more. And just because of the generosity of the community, we are at, for those watching, and if you guys haven't seen, we are at $3,021.69.
Nice.
That is fantastic, and I believe that's a record for the event as well.
That is double what we did last year.
There we go. So, well, thank you to everyone watching.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Also, thank you to everyone who donated to make sure that the number ended in 69.
That would be Jack.
Yes. Yeah, that was something that's been going on for most of the weekend, I believe. So
I mean, that's the thing that goes on literally every.
Just for the game a second.
Just to interrupt you guys, I got a first try demo dash.
I was gonna say he's just done the demo dash, which is named after Demo Jameson or Jameson, depending on where you're from. Who was the person who discovered it? Where basically he is dashing while crouched, so he managed to squeeze through those dust bunnies there, and like he said, he got it first time, and that is a tight trick to get, no matter what the circumstances. And as you can see, we've got Demon Shiro chasing us now.
We also haven't talked at all about the mechanic of this chapter. The red goo on the wall, the red tentacles on the wall, which becomes the red goo.
Yeah, so you can actually see them just on the opposite side from the dust bunnies on this wall here, up the middle channel there. So you've got little hairs, and you've got them all across the floor. And every single time he touches one, dust bunnies, or this red goo as we like to refer to it, pops out. And basically that means you can touch it once, any more and you're dead. It doesn't come up until you actually leave that section though. It doesn't just suddenly grow on you. Oh dude, that is so unfortunate.
Also, you can Mario Bob Oshiro.
Well, yeah, you can Mario Bob Oshiro because Oshiro 1 deserves it, and 2, why not? And we are about to hit the end of the 3rd chapter here. No, not just yet. I forgot about this room. I love this room.
You forgot about this room that you love? I mean, that's
I'll be honest, it may not have sounded it this time, and it's unusual for me, but that was a very sarcastic, I love this room. Like, I know
as someone
normally...
whose sarcasm is very difficult to read, I feel your pain.
But, yeah, no, but as you can see, we are absolutely flying through this at the moment. Cinaeth is really not that far behind his PB, which he smashed his PB only a few days ago. He put up like a 3+ minute improvement from like 50 minutes going down to 46, 50 something. And to be honest, having watched that run, apart from a couple of bits of bad luck, that could easily have been a sub 46. Like that final section was just really unfortunate with just the bad bounces here and there.
So basically what you're saying is Cinaeth is a Celeste prodigy.
He could be. He could be. He clearly needs to just stop playing anything else, do nothing but grind in Celeste, and take all them world records.
Wait, I thought doing nothing but grinding Celeste was mostly what he'd been doing lately.
No, you confuse it with he's mostly been grinding.
Okay, so this chapter, as you can see, there is a couple of mechanics tying together. We've got the wind. The wind pushes you in whichever direction it appears to be blowing, so you can either go faster across the screen or significantly slower depending on that. You've also got, you may have noticed, these bubbles here, and these bubbles literally just give you a little dash in one direction, restore your actual dash itself, and yeah. Cinaeth, for some reason, just decided to just jump off the edge of a cliff there. Apparently that's what our commentary is doing to him so far.
I can't blame him. I would do the same.
We are the worst. That's fair. But oof. Yeah, this. In fact, when you think about it, this chapter actually brings a lot of different mechanics into play, because we've also seen these blocks, which, as you can see, you trigger one side of them, and then you have to stand on the relevant sides to get them to change direction, or like these ones where they've got the spikes on them, they're not changing direction.
And of course the bounce clouds, which we like. There are a lot of mechanics in chapter 4.
There is, yeah. There is a lot actually when you think about it. It's a bit of a wild one, but it's also a really fun chapter, except for the wind. I'll be honest, personally, I hate it. Like I love the challenge it adds, but I hate the wind. It's just ugh.
I still have not actually played through Celeste because I'm a bad person. But I've never, in any platform I've ever played that has had a wind mechanic, I've never been a fan.
No, yeah. I mean, like, people love to bash water levels in games, and I can understand why, but wind mechanics are so much worse.
And then, hopefully we'll see them. There's at least one more mechanic that could come into play in this level. I truly hope we see it.
Hey,
So-
Meta, do I have time for like a 4-minute cutscene?
I don't believe Meta is in the room right now, but you know what?
Terrible.
I'm gonna say make the executive decision and go for it.
Awesome.
Let's start this run off behind so that I can blame Cinaeth this time instead of me for my run. But yeah, no, this cutscene that Cinaeth wants to show, I'll let him talk about it while it's going on, because I know it's got some... there's a good reason why he wants to show it off. And it is a really, really cool part of the game, and it really helps emphasize what the whole point of the game is. Like, that it's not just this adventure to climb a mountain. A huge part of this story is about Madeline dealing with her own personal demons and issues. And I think that's something that everyone has to account for at some point.
Especially this year, where a lot of us have had to spend a lot more time to ourselves than we would normally have to.
I mean, I'm someone who's been at work literally all year. I think I got something like 2-3 weeks off when they originally sent us home, but then I was back in within no time doing other work. And I'll be honest, some of my friends, I've literally seen, you know, marriages fall apart because these people have had to spend more time with each other than they ever have, and that's horrible to see. But it also makes me really glad I was in work, because I don't think my fiance would be very happy spending all the time with me.
I had to spend 4 months at home. My marriage is fine.
Well, see, that's a good thing, and I'm reasonably certain that my relationship would survive it. But I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie, I can be really, really annoying. Like,
I would have never thought that at all.
no,
Not once.
it comes out as a bit of surprise, I know, but it is the case. And hello, Meda has rejoined us. How you doing, my friends?
I'm doing alright, just popping back and forth doing setup for the next person's run as well.
So if you want to read any donations, this is a good time to do it, but this is the
We do
cutscene
not
I
have
wanted to
any
show.
yet. Come on, Cinaeth is up here at some point of the time, and wherever he is, running Celeste for you.
We're
Look,
almost
so
halfway through the
much.
game already.
Oh boy, yes you are.
Everyone who is watching, anyone who might, donate $1 and just make it a message that insults Cinaeth.
Yeah.
That's
You
all
good
you
with
have
that,
to do.
Cinaeth?
And the best insult will
Let's
win
do it.
some
Let's
sort of
do it.
prize.
Alright,
So
Insult will be
Here we go.
insult by
Here's
me.
what we'll do. Here's what we'll do. What we're gonna do is donate with your Cinaeth insult. And I don't have a lot of money left, but however much you don't, whoever gets the best insult, I will match their donation up to $10. So get your donation. If you donate $1, I'll match your $1. If you donate $10, I'll match your $10. But we will vote at the end of the Celeste run on what is the best Cinaeth insult if we get any of these donations, and the winner, I will match their donation.
And while we're doing this, so the reason that I'm going to start going through this cutscene now, the reason that this cutscene, I wanted to play it during the run, this is really when Madeline, the main character, starts showing why she wanted to climb this mountain. And the very first time I played this game, this is the cutscene that convinced me that I need to speedrun this game, because it spoke to me on a very personal level. I have depression, I have anxiety, like, I really, really can think about Madeline as someone who I could talk to about this kind of stuff. And for the message that Right Love on Her Arms puts out there for the charity as well, is about helping people who have anxiety, who have depression, who have, mental issues that they need someone to talk to. So you can see Madeline talking to Theo about, being nervous coming up here. She feels like she can't breathe. And, she's starting to get nervous. And even Theo's like, you don't have to panic. Just, come over here with the phone, trying to make her to relax. And then just things go wrong. The worst happens. We don't have the bar. We're stuck. This really isn't good. I can't breathe. You're having a panic attack. Stay with me here. My grandpa taught me a trick for this. Chat, I need your energy. We need to calm Madeline down. Picture her feather.
Kitty, warm kitty, little ball of... yeah, kitty, sleepy kitty.
I just want to throw in, while you're all trying to calm Madeline down a little bit, that I think choosing the file name Fwahaha really also makes some of this chat really change in tone. Like, where he's like, Twahaha, you cool? You know,
He just has a supervillain laugh. That's all. He just has a supervillain laugh. You alright? You doing good? Here, wait. Here, there's a trick my grandpa showed me. And you have to keep the feather in the box. For those of you that have never played this, you actually do need to keep the feather in the box. Like, that is a game mechanic.
Yeah, I'm actually pushing buttons for this.
I'm also like really curious. Like, I get the whole point is it's supposed to be like concentrating on your breathing, but I'm really curious where like the feather in the box came from, like from the dev side of things.
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
Like,
So is that the same feathers that we see later in the game, or no? The ones later are more of are a slightly different color.
They're slightly different color, but I want to believe that they're meant to be the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, with the way this game goes, there's a lot of stuff that sort of just crosses over into the next bit and into the next bit. So it wouldn't be surprised me if they are referencing the same thing.
Yeah.
And then we have the beautiful picture of Madeline and Theo.
So despite that taking me to 20 minutes total, because the timer runs while that cutscene is playing, that was worth it, I think. Also, a 4:28 in Chapter 4 is ridiculous.
Well, up until the cutscene, you were having a very good Chapter 4, and I was very sad because you did not get hit by a single snowball. And I really wanted that to happen.
Alright, so chat, this run is special. This is not a typical any percent run. This is, we're going big, we're not going home. We're doing a hard level. We're doing 5B.
So yeah, so what's going to happen about, is it what, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes
Yeah,
into this
about 2
section?
minutes.
Yeah, we're going to be picking up a cassette tape, which some of you may have never seen before, so try not to be shocked at this ancient piece of technology. And yeah, when we
I had a New Kids on the Block cassette tape as a kid.
I'll be honest, I definitely wasn't thinking of one of you as one of the people when I said who may not have seen this before. you definitely fall closer to my to our age bracket than you
That's
do
true.
someone.
We're old and we're crotchety.
Like, I was thinking more people like MM2, who I know was in chat at the start of this, because
He's a literal child.
he's a literal child.
The youths. The youths.
The youths.
Sorry, that was another reference that you youngins may not have gotten. You guys should all go watch My Cousin Vinny, because that's a great movie.
And her biological clock is tick, tick, ticking.
We're not talking at all about Celeste or the new mechanic, which is these red bubbles that you can fire off, and you get in it, you fire off in one of the 8 cardinal directions, and they keep going until they hit a wall.
And as you can see, these blocks as well react to when you dash, and you've got a bunch of switches to hit to open doors as we go through. This chapter, as you can also see, is generally a lot darker than the other ones. But as you run around, you'll hit light switches, which will allow you to open doors and so on. But there we are. So this is our cassette tape. Now it's low res. They do look a little bit different in real life, but
They're larger in real life.
they're definitely larger. Yeah.
Oh, just maybe closer than they appear.
But yeah, the B-side is unlocked by collecting that cassette tape, and the B-side is a harder version of the level, in theory. Because while it may be harder, when you've got the experience to do it, it is also quicker. And that is why this route has taken it. And I've got to be honest, I'm not super familiar with this level because I've still not played the B-sides myself. But I know Cinaeth is not going to have any problems with it because I've seen him run it at least once or twice. Promise, at least once or twice he's done it.
Considering I started running this level, I think like
at least wasn't there.
oh my
Did he get the
god!
large jump?
Oh my god!
Oh, he did. He got the
Yes.
buff.
He got it. Okay, so that's going to let him skip basically an entire little section of rooms. which is going to save time. He's probably going to be slightly annoyed that he ended up watching that cutscene purely
Oh
because
my word!
going to cost him a PB on that front.
But it's for charity.
Oh, and it was worth it. Like, showing that scene is a big part of, like I said, one of the reasons why we were happy to let Cinaeth just talk about it himself was because even though we are sick of hearing his voice through all of this, that it's a big part of the reason. Like, that scene basically tells the entire story of why Cinaeth started running this game, and that's awesome. And that was a really sick corner jump off to the spike jump there to get through.
So
Which we have
Cinaeth
not
chose
talked about at all.
kill the frames and save the humans.
That's one way of looking at it. Yeah.
Humans are animals. Just saying.
But I mean, the question is always, are we human?
Oh my word! I'm gonna have to look back at my actual playtime to see like how much I could have PB'd if I hadn't seen that cutscene.
Well, to be honest, so far this is a real sick run. You are a good chunk ahead of, where you would be without that cutscene, in my opinion. And yeah, but again, it was so worth showing that cutscene because it really does tell the major part of what makes this story so special to so many people. And you can see that in just the way the game blew up, like absolutely crazy in no time at all. And these guys down there, they are called Seekers, but we prefer the term Squiddy Boys.
Indeed, because, well, aren't we all squiddy boys when it comes down to it?
Okay, so I'm not too unhappy now that I skipped that because I got killed by a Seeker.
Basically, what he's saying is he
called
intentionally
squiddy boys.
died. Yeah, he intentionally died to that Squiddy Boy so that he wouldn't be on any sort of PB pace had he not watched the cutscene. Because, that's just how some people are. Just how some people are. And Squiddy Boys, here we go again.
And you have to pick up Theo in this giant crystal, and yeah. Theo's the worst.
This is another one of those ones where, especially when you first play through this game, you are sat here thinking to yourself, wait, is this a dream sequence? Is this happening? What's going on here? And the answer, I'm pretty sure, is meant to be this one is a dream sequence, but it's also really happening because that's how crazy Celeste Mountain is. Simple as.
And real quick again, I do want to drop in real quick and say we are raising money this year for To Write Love on Our Arms. Every cent, every penny, every dollar donated goes directly to them, does not touch our hands. And To Write Love on Our Arms is a non-profit movement dedicated to presenting hope and finding help for people struggling with depression, addiction, self-injury, and suicide. They exist to encourage, inform, inspire, and also invest directly into the treatment and recovery. Remember, we do have a donation incentive going, an unofficial one, where if you donate toward an insult to your message is an insult of Cinaeth, the best one will have their donation total matched up to $10 by me personally. And if you're looking for a good incentive to put it towards, Scooter OP, My Immortal Chapter 1 dramatic reading of a Harry Potter X Twilight X romance novel X angsty middle school girl who was totally a goth and not a prep reading. Definitely get your donations in for that because it's one of the best things I've ever heard.
I'm approving anyone in chat to throw an insult my way. So if you feel like you can't do it, I'm totally approving it. Go for it.
For charity.
By the way, a 4-minute and 4-second mirror temple is disgusting. I just wanted to put that out there. That is disgusting. Let's get ready for the other incentive. This is the Easter egg level right here.
Okay, yeah, so you want to listen up on this level. But just before we do get to the bit with the little Easter egg there, if anybody doesn't feel comfortable insulting Cinaeth, you are more than welcome to insult myself, or I'm sure Cheese would have no issues being insulted.
Go ahead, take it out.
Insult the hell out of me.
Yeah, like just throw your best insults at us. Just drop a small donation with it. Just at the end of the day, this is all for
here
charity
comes.
and it's for a great cause.
Okay, that didn't work because it's not giving me the special sound.
The special sound.
Oh no, it did not work. So basically, at that point, because we have the file name fwahahaha, or fwahaha, the rock golem dude who shoots across the screen should basically be making silly laugh sounds as we go.
So then what that means is, Threg, you need to make silly laugh sounds every time he touches a rock thing. You gotta give the people what they paid for.
Hold on, let's have a look.
There's one.
Oh, I know what it is. We're missing an A. It should be fwahaha, and ours is just fwahaha. Or fwahaha. Yeah.
Wait, there's no A after the W?
There should be.
Yeah, but that's something there isn't on this file.
I don't
Man,
believe
which one of you can't spell? Like,
I mean, I asked. I asked.
I wasn't looking at the time, so don't.
We'll make it work. We'll just do our own. It's even better this way. Everybody contribute to the flaw. Every time we hit one, everybody here in voice. Let's do it.
I mean, you know. Alright, is it only the large blocks or also the pinball?
Only the large blocks when you dash against them.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure how many there are left in the level, to be honest. Cinaeth probably has a better idea, but I don't know how many of them he actually is going to hit.
Wahaha!
Waha!
Sorry, my voice doesn't go that high.
Like, going high pitched is a bit of a challenge. That's going to leave me with a sore throat.
Charity.
I've already had laryngitis recently. I refuse to have it again.
Why did you get laryngitis a second time? Well, you know, I was making weird laughing noises for a charity marathon. What?
Yeah, I don't want to
already,
explain the work. So
I'm already the weird guy at work that would just...
Okay, so as you can see, this chapter, chapter 6, Reflection, this is our last but one chapter, and it is... Well, you know, we've got these rock golem things that shoot across, we've got these little bouncy circles, and we've got golden feathers, which, as you can see, just let us fly across the screen. They do have a limit on how long they last, but like many of the other mechanics, they do restore your dash at the end of them, so you can make use of that, you can dash out of them, and you can jump out of them to get stuff. And yeah, this chapter is basically, as you may have noticed, we did not have... we weren't in the best position at the end of the last chapter. She had a little bit of a breakdown. Theo got locked in the stone because he was having his own little issue. And right now we're going to take a little detour up to the dev room because the incentive for that was met. And this is a really, really tight jump that he's got to hit here. So bear with us. That was a good one. That was a really good one. And that's really good. We're into the dev room. So here we are. Ooh. These are all the devs' avatars. None of them will speak to you.
You got Budget Meat Boy, Single Eye Bat.
I mean, yeah, you know, we can basically call them knockoff versions of characters from any other game you want to think of. Especially, I mean, I guarantee you will pick up a Japanese RPG, you will find at least half of those characters in there somewhere.
Yeah, you're
look
also
at the under $5 thing on Steam. Go to the RPG Maker section of the under $5 on Steam. You go find all of them.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Including Budget Meat Boy.
So, yeah, so this chapter is basically now we have taken a tumble down the mountain, and Madeline is, well, it's called Reflection. She is trying to self-reflect on what's brought her here, why has she failed, what's the problems, and, well, basically... Sorry, I missed that one because I was talking, but basically...
Oh, we get to do that one again.
Hey, there we go.
Whoa! What?
Nope.
Dude, seriously.
He just wants to live.
That should be a t-shirt for next year.
But yeah, so basically at the moment, as you can see, there is this big shroud of darkness that we're effectively chasing away. And that is Badline. That is all of negativity, all of depression, all of the issues that Madeline is being held back by, that she's trying to escape from. All of that has basically come back to bite her, because now it's come back worse than ever, because she tried to pretend like she didn't have it wasn't there. She didn't deal with her problems, basically. But yeah, here we go. We're literally just going to chase Badline through here. We're going to bop her every single time we get close, and that's going to push her further back. As you can see, you get to the end of the room, she's going to smash us into the next room, and we're just going to follow her down and continue to bop her.
Also, Badline way hotter than Madeline.
Also, real quick, we have a $20 donation from Cheese Reaver. Putting that towards the My Immortal dramatic reading of Chapter 1. The comment being, Cinaeth's pop culture knowledge is less than adequate. Come on, we can get better than that.
That is a specific reference that 3 of the people in this call will get.
Oh my word.
Well, do explain now.
Well, so Drake runs a podcast that Cinaeth is a regular co-host on, and I am an occasional guest host, that involves a quiz at the end. And anytime the quiz involves, pop culture topics, Cinaeth doesn't generally do great, because as he will freely admit himself, his pop culture knowledge is less than adequate.
Yeah, my general knowledge is pretty garbage.
Yeah, and do you know what? Actually, as soon as it's been mentioned, Meta, at some point we're going to have to get you on the podcast, because the podcast has slightly different variances, and there's one that I'd really like to interview you for, because I think it'd be a lot of fun. So I'll DM you about that another time.
I'd love
purely
to do it.
because we are coming up now to basically right up to the end of this section, and as you can see, Badline is now telling us about how trying to help us. They're trying to. I don't know how they're supposed to be helping as such, but they believe they are, and to a degree they are, because you are, without those things like the depression, the issues that you have, the mental issues that you may have, you're not you. Yes, you can make them better and still be a better you, but they're still there, and it's learning to deal with them that is the problem, and that's what a big part of the story is. Yeah, come on, Cinaeth, come on now.
And it's not that it's ever going to not be there, but it's your ability to handle them and needing, the resources to do so. And charities like To Write Love on Her Arms provide those resources.
Exactly right. It's a great segue.
That's the most legitimate segue I've ever made.
Well,
this game lends itself to that specific segue.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. This game is, in many ways, given the charity that's being supported here, sort of like the perfect game to be running, because everything that this game is about story-wise is exactly what that charity is trying to help people achieve in their real lives.
That's why last year, actually, when I started organizing the first DogPound Expo, which was last year, I actually put out a paid bounty for somebody in my community to learn and run this game for the marathon last year.
Oh man, how did I miss that?
Right?
I've definitely been around at that point.
Yeah, do you know who ran it last year?
Who ran it last year?
Croak.
Oh really?
Yeah, Croakemeyer picked it up and learned it just for the event.
Ah, no, Croak is a great dude. I'm not surprised to hear that, to be honest.
He's a great dude, unless he's making SM Plandos. In which case,
Yeah, don't touch the Croak
one of the most evil
Plando.
people that has ever existed.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. Okay, so we, as you can see, have leveled up. We have now reached that point in the game where Madeline has come to accept that she needs all those negative parts of her to be her. She can't just run away from them. They are going to be there. You can't pretend that they're not there. They're there. And because she's now accepted this, Madeline's decided, do you know what? Yeah, cool. Let's work together. Let's get out of here. So now we have a double dash. Not like Mario Kart. Slightly different. But
And
we
it's
have another
the only upgrade you get the entire game.
Well, and you could sort of consider the moonshot its own version of an upgrade, which I guess is just part of the double dash.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So the moonshot is the bit that we just saw there, where when you hit the little purple ball and Badlin shows up and gives Madeline a bit of a boost up. So this final chapter is us going, or Madeline going back up the mountain after having fallen down
really
and accepted
uplifting.
her weakness.
Yeah, this connects everything together. So we're going to see every chapter represented. And by the way, chat, we're going to do the charity tradition for every time Celeste is run when we get to the last part. Let's count it down.
It's a trick, get an axe. I mean, yes, let's count it all down.
Okay, so here we go. So we're starting back at 0 meters. Let's get going. And as you can see, fairly simple mechanics. And you can see that's what I'm talking about. MM2 knows. He knows what the count is, or at least he knows what the count in Celeste is. Do you know what the actual count is?
You know, Count Von Count, who taught children how to count.
See, the thing is, not even a thing not even really a thing in the UK, but even I know about that. You're right, I do know you MM2. You're too young for that. But anyway, let's move on and back to Cinaeth. So as you can see, this is very much just basic platforming to open us up. Bit more challenging than what you had at the start of the game, and here we go. We're getting the little lift ups from Badlin before we get the moonshot.
Because it turns out Badlin can throw you really, really hard, like 500 meters at a time hard.
Like, Badlin's got this sort of arm that NFL quarterbacks have been hiding their drug use for years to try and get. They failed.
500 meters, I don't even, that, and you're throwing a person, not a football. I mean, that's, like, Badlin should clearly be in all of the throwing track and field events at the Olympics.
100%. I mean, like, I'm going to be honest with you, Matt Stafford is my favourite quarterback purely because he is an absolute gunner of a quarterback. And he's not even going to attempt these throws.
Matthew Stafford has been absolutely terrorizing my home state's team for the last billion years, and because of him, we can't get a good quarterback in here.
That's why we love Matt Stafford. I mean,
well, I mean, you know, that's a matter of opinion. There's many different things that you could say about Matt Stafford, positive and negative, but ultimately, the man is a gunner and he can throw.
He can. He has broken fingers.
At its core, going back to this, he ain't got nothing on Badlin.
No, that's true. And Badlin is, like, they wouldn't even consider her for the NFL because she could actually win something on a world stage.
So the Lions would never draft her, is what you're saying.
Well, I mean, do you trust the Lions to draft anyone?
No, exactly. That's why they wouldn't draft her. If anybody that's got any talent, they're not going to draft. I'm sorry on the inside.
We've reached the chapter 2 portion of chapter 7.
We put the green block back.
The cosmic jelly is back.
And Cinaeth is going to be making as little use of this as he can, in the sense that he's going to touch as few of them as he can and get through it as quick as he can. Because 1, this is a speed run, and 2, no one wants to get stuck in cosmic jelly. Who knows? Galactus might turn up and eat you.
That's true.
Okay, so how much is? There's not a huge amount left of this section, I believe.
And so that we don't have to talk about it as part of each one. Basically, each section of this chapter kind of rehashes the mechanics of one of the earlier chapters.
Yeah, and in the order that they come as well. So here we go. We're now at 1,500 meters, and as you can see, we've got the dust bunnies back, dashing about all over the place.
Let me just say, my least favorite part of this entire game was the dust bunnies and these little wigglies on the walls, and that was one of the hardest sections for me.
I was really caught in two minds, because while I hated them, they were also in the Mr. Oshiro section, and that is one of my favorite sections.
Oh yeah, because he's great.
It's just such a, they literally gave us one of the worst enemy mechanics combined with the best secondary character. And
They knew what they made. They knew what they made. They had to redeem it somehow.
Yeah, basically. Okay, so we're gonna get a little sprint on towards the end of this section. Oh no, we're not. We're gonna take a detour. Now, this doesn't do a huge amount of difference in terms of difficulty, but as you can see, it's gonna be a little bit quicker just skipping down here. And here we go, we're at the section where battling yet again just tosses about, runs away from us, and then says, alright, fine, I'll help you. I mean, that is what that section looks like, isn't it? Let's be honest.
And Cinaeth is skipping all of them, but after each moonshot, Badeline and Madeline split apart and have like a Dragon Ball Z spinning with each other conversation.
Yes, they
there
do.
with the with the DBZ background.
Now what? But we like to believe that the conversation starts like this.
Yeah.
You gotta charge that spirit bomb for 6 episodes.
Well, I mean, how else are you gonna?
Well, I mean,
perform
if you're in
Spirit
charge
Bomb?
of 6 episodes, though, I mean, who are you gonna actually use it against? Like, somebody?
No, you have to miss it after you finish charging. That's the rule.
Or like the main enemy has to take like no damage from it.
Exactly. Just brush it off.
Snowball.
Unfortunately, not in the face, but
No, the main energy, like, it's not that they take no damage from it. It's more of a, like their armor gets a small scratch on it and they get some dust on them.
They're gonna really need to take that to the dry cleaner. It's a real inconvenience.
okay, well done, sir. That is
That does not look like an easy trick.
We're gonna do it again.
But we're gonna go for it again.
Hey, tricks take tries.
Oh, come on. All right, we're gonna do this one more time. If I miss it, we're doing it the slow way.
All right. Oh, we started talking about it in the very beginning, right after you got the dash. We never really got into it too hard. So with the types of dash jumping, there's the super, which gives you more height, and then the hyper, which gives you where you go further.
Yeah, significantly less height on the hyper, but a lot more distance you're going to get out of it, and that's what you see in there for him to dash basically across that whole section. There is also then the extended super and hyper, which is basically where you do it in such a way that allows you to keep your dash to be used later in it. But to be honest, I wouldn't want to pick
beautiful shy position jump.
the rare but beautiful shape position jump. I can't even say it anymore. Like, it's been that long since I tried to say it because, yeah, we just basically Cinaeth was not very happy with us making up most of the words for this game.
Yeah. But the shy position jump is, it turns out when you have a screen transition, it resets your dashes. So if you do a super or a hyper through a screen transition, you can gain more height or more distance with a free dash.
Man, I'm really hoping we got a couple of insults in because I want to hear some. We are coming real close to the end of this now. I believe we've got one more section before the count.
One more section before the count, yes.
Yeah.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Oh wow, that would be such a frustrating thing to happen in a game.
I'm surprised none of the Dragon Ball Z games have that built in. Then again, maybe some of them do. I don't actually know.
Oh my word, it's like if you get a game over, do it then.
Alright, so here he's back with the platforms that move every time you dash.
So yeah, we're basically back in the Mirror Temple mechanics here, and as you can see, a lot of this again is like, it looks like simple platforming, but it's not.
Oh boy, is it not? Let me tell you what.
MM2, you're too young for that, so let's not worry about what Dragon Ball Z is. But there we go. Takes the retry there because he's picked up the item and it does carry through you with the retry, and it's quicker than waiting for the floor to fall away.
Well, no, wouldn't MM2 know it as that live-action movie that really sucked?
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with what film you're talking
no idea what you're talking about.
Such a thing is, there was no live-action Dragon Ball movie.
Like, there's been rumors of it for like literally decades, but I don't know what you're talking about there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to be playing it safe here and hitting the switches. It is possible to not hit those switches and just skip through, but it is some tight platforming. And as you've noticed, a lot of this is already pretty tight platforming.
Ooh.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
Celeste is pretty much tight platforming the game. I mean,
with a really wicked dash mechanic.
Which can make the platforming even tighter.
Yes, it really can. Okay, so we are now coming up to very close to the end of this section. Just gonna have to jump back and forth between these blocks and dash up. There we go. And next time on Dragon Ball Z, we are gonna start the count. So, 30, get ready, people.
Oh, it counts down, not up. I was about to say 1.
Okay, that's 29.
29!
29!
And as you'll notice here, the climb, this final section of the climb, very much like the other bits, it breaks it down into individual. That's 28.
28.
Individual sections with each of the individual skills, but then slowly starts blending them into one big challenge as we go up.
26.
26. And there's a weird level of difficulty / not difficulty between different flags. I mean, 27 and 26 were like 2 feet apart from each other, and then some will be several difficult platforming sections.
Because some challenges with mental health are easy to overcome, and some are more difficult, but in the end, we all have the power to overcome them.
That's probably the best possible answer you could have given, yes.
I think at this point, though, we're actually just talking about climbing a mountain. Like, yeah, the game for the most part is about mental health, but at this point, I believe she's actually physically supposed to be climbing the mountain.
Yeah, but so yeah, at this point, we're now, you know, as you get further into it, the challenge gets slightly more. There is definitely exceptions to that, like 22 to 21 there is a fairly simple one. But yeah, as you get further into it, the challenge gets slightly greater on each individual one. Here we go, we got some good dashes here.
Moonshot without the next time on Dragon Ball Z. 19.
Basically, what happened there for that death is Cinaeth was going too fast for himself.
17.
Didn't recharge his dash. Okay,
16.
Like 16
15.
to 15 there? Like, really? Did we
14.
14 again?
Yeah,
Some of these, I don't know that you needed a flag. I think they just wanted to get to 30 flags and just had to start throwing them in at some point.
And I figured if 6 flags was good, 30 must be better. What
well,
up?
5 times is good. 5 times is good. But anyway, so yeah, so we're gonna now collect the locks because this mechanic is back again, because like we've been saying, these last chapters just reuse all of the mechanics from the rest of the game and just add a little bit more challenge to it.
11.
Yeah, like this is definitely one of the more challenging sections casually. Like 11 to 10, and then some of the other ones are just really like.
This looks like reminds me of Sticker Brush Symphony in Donkey Kong Country 1. The section.
I know what you're talking about.
DKC 1, I would have to go and actually look at that.
It's been a hot minute.
We are getting there,
8.
people.
7.
Okay, we are coming in for the big
6.
one in here.
Now he believes he can fly.
She believes she can fly. She believes she can touch the sky.
That's number 4. Keep going. We're gonna hit number 1.
All right, somebody's got to sing the "We Are Number One" song, right?
I believe it's called "We Are the Champions." Thank you very much.
Oh no, I was referring to the weird song.
Okay, so yeah, we're getting real close now. There is not a lot left in this. That's a good
Ew.
dash.
There's 2.
Okay, and Cinaeth, we'll let you call time when it comes up to it.
Here's number 1.
This is 1, and this is it. This is the final straight to the finish, people.
Will he make it? Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
We're gonna have to cut to
Time.
commercial.
That's time.
All right, 56:49 RTA.
And a
Okay.
50-50 in-game time.
Even if
Congratulations.
if you just take out that 4-minute cutscene, that would have been at least a 2-second PB. I'm just saying.
Oh.
Which adding dev room too. We spent how much time in dev room?
Exactly, and dev room included in that. So, dude, get back out there and get yourself that 45, please. But seriously,
Clearly that
GG,
thumbs jump.
absolutely great run.
Clearly
Thank you
that
so
thumbs up
much.
is big time.
And as promised, I did match up the $10 from you, Cheese Reader, so I put an additional $10 in.
That's right, because Cinaeth's pop culture knowledge is in fact less than adequate.
So
Yeah,
thank you
Very
guys-
true.
He
Yes,
also
thank you
needs
guys
funds. It's true.
so much for running. I'm gonna pull you back out. We're gonna get into the setup scene, and our next run up is going to be Focus Sight with the second run of the marathon, doing Mega Man Extreme 2 on the Game Boy Color. But let me tell you, it does not look like a Game Boy Color game. It looks so good. 100% X mission. Thank you guys so much for running, and we'll see you throughout the rest of the event.
Big Man
Yeah,
Extreme.
thanks very much.
Thank you
And
so
good
much for
luck,
having
guys.
me.